Hey guys, welcome to my channel. You guys have been wanting this. Some of you guys have been wanting it for a while now. So here I am giving it to you. This is just one of my Sarracenia purpureas that I have. I rescued this one. And so far, most of the plants that I have here are rescued. This is another Sarracenia purpurea here I have that was rescued. Here are two more babies right here. This is a sundew I rescued. This is a red dragon. Venus flytrap I rescued. This is another Venus flytrap I rescued. Here, I'm gonna let the sun. And this is another one. Another Sarracenia minor that I've rescued. This one came from one mother plant that I have separated. And this one actually separated without any roots. So I needed to repot it, and now is about the temperature I need to repot the sundew so it can survive the winter. Over here I've got 3 pots. One of them for the sundew, one of them for the red dragon, and one of them for this guy, the Sarracenia minor. And I'm gonna and here I have right here name tags for them. I'm gonna coat the bottom with some sphagnum moss that I get from this guy. I use it to get all my sphagnum moss, or maybe. So I'm just gonna take like a corner off, because I only need to put on the bottom of 3, and maybe to top it off to look nice. I've got some peat moss over here. And I got some perlite. Okay, so I've got a piece of the corner cut off. This is just enough. And in an old bucket I used to hold sphagnum moss in. I'm gonna soak, it has water in it. Okay, so now that I have the sphagnum moss fully soaked, I'm gonna I don't think this is enough, so I'm gonna put more in after. But for now I'm gonna put plug the bottom of the pots with some sphagnum moss so the soil doesn't leak out the bottom when you put it into water. So I'm going to take some sphagnum moss, bring it over here, and see I have 3 holes on each side, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 holes in total. So I'm going to roll up my sleeve for this. So I'm going to take a piece of sphagnum moss, roll it up into a ball, and put it on one of the holes right here. Maybe I'll take a little more, coat it around that hole. Take another piece of sphagnum moss, put it at the bottom. I'll take a bigger piece. So I filled the rest of the buckets with sphagnum moss, plug the holes, and now I'm gonna take some some peat moss and perlite, mix it up, and put some halfway into the bucket, into the pot, and then I'm gonna put another small layer of sphagnum moss to help wick the moisture up to the top, and then I'm gonna top that off again to the top. And as I'm doing that, I have a PVC pipe right here, which if I need, it will help me make a hole for the plants, so I can just stick them right in and cover them up. I separated some nice sphagnum moss with nice looking heads that might grow for me. I haven't had them grow so much, so this is a nice one, and I could put a couple other nice ones in there. And then some other ones over here to clear out this area, because since it already has some water in it, this is all sphagnum moss bits, so it's nothing that's going to hurt the plants. When you're working with peat moss, which I'm going to be working with to pot the plants, you're going to want to soak it so it's easier to work with. So when you put it in the water, it won't just float up everywhere and unpot all your plants. So right now I'm going to take this shovel I have in here. It's very useful. It's a little bent, but it's useful. I'm going to take a scoop. I'm going to put it in the water. After you've got your your peat moss in the water, just want to mix it around so it soaks in. And it might take a couple minutes, but it'll work. And by the way, guys, using your hands is a much faster process. See, this is already all wet. I have a little more to do. It's been like a minute, maybe 2. Alright, so I'm just going to mix this with my hands, and it's really working. I'm going to catch you guys when I'm done. Okay, so as you can tell, it's been like a minute after I put down the camera, and this is all muddy. So it's all soaked and ready to go. So a combination I use for my potting soil is 1 part peat and 1 part perlite. So I'm going to take one pot over here, and take a pot that we made. I'm going to take 1 handful over here of peat moss. I'm going to put it in the pot. Take a couple handfuls, like maybe 2 and 3. Maybe 4. Okay, I barely had enough water to do this. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my perlite. And remember, I did 4 handfuls of peat moss. So I'm going to take my perlite. Sorry for the shakiness. I'm going to take my perlite. I'm going to take 1 handful. Put it in. Another handful. Put it in. 2 more handfuls. Making a mess, which I love doing. I'm just gonna mix it in. But no, it's not gonna ruin the sphagnum moss at the bottom. I hope. This does look like a lot of perlite, but it's alright. It makes the soil not as compact. And I'm just gonna keep mixing this for a little bit until I know it's well mixed. Okay, now that it's well mixed, I'm going to put some sphagnum moss, which I got over here. I got a couple sphagnum moss. So I'm going to layer some down. I'm going to take some more. So as you can see, I have put some more sphagnum moss in. And now I'm going to put some more peat and perlite in. I'm not going to put the peat in and mix it up with the perlite on top of this because that's going to mess it up. So I'm going to put it in a different container, mix it up, and I'm going to show you guys the end result when it is at the top. Okay, so I got the pot full, almost to the top of peat and perlite. I didn't have enough peat and perlite, so I'm going to fill the rest up with sphagnum moss, which is also really good. I'm going to be putting the sundew in this one. So I'm going to be topping it off with some sphagnum moss, and I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, I filled the top with sphagnum moss all the way to the top. Now I'm going to take out the sundew. I might use a PVC pipe depending on how long the roots are, and I'm going to plant it in here. I'll show you guys when I get the sundew out and how I'm going to plant it in. Okay, so this is what we have to work with. We have one main plant, a smaller one, but probably the second biggest, a tiny little one that came off, another small-ish one for this size, and about 2 right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them right where they are. But I'm probably switch this one with this one. I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to plant them. I just can't do it with one hand, so I'll pick it up when I make the holes. Okay, this is what I'm gonna be making. It's about half my finger deep. And I'm gonna put the big one in there, and that's what I'm gonna do for all of them, and I'll show you when it's done, because I can't do it in one hand again, and I don't really have a big tripod right now. Okay guys, I finished the job. It doesn't look so neat right now. I'll need to spray them down a little bit to clean them up, and it's gonna take some time for them to settle in. I'm gonna have to take them inside soon because it's getting cold here in Georgia. Yes, I do live in Georgia, so if I ever do a giveaway, or if I ever do or want to sell something, a plant or maybe a couple plants, if you're in the Georgia area, just DM me, let me know. Maybe I could hook you up with a plant. This is my biggest one. He doesn't look like he's doing too good right now, but he's, again, I just repotted him, and trust me, he'll look much better along with his other I guess siblings. And that little tiny one. Alright, so anyways, they have let flowers this year. I don't know if you can see it. It's not focusing. It's focusing on my hand. Yeah, there we go. So these are seed, sprouts, seed sprouts, the flower sprouts. I did cut them, and yeah, I guess, I mean, it stopped. I wanted them to focus on settling in. I only got them this year. So now they'll do much better in this pot. I know that 100%. So I'll put this one aside. I'm going to focus right now on the other ones that I need to repot. And make sure when you're putting the soil in, tap it down a little bit to make sure that when you water it, it's not going to the soil's not all going to collapse to the bottom. And to make sure that your plants will not get potted. But make sure it doesn't go down like 5 inches, which has happened to me before, and that's how I learned. So yeah, I guess I hope you like this one. Now I'm going to show you the other ones. Again, I set aside some heads over here if I want to plant them and watch them, see if they grow. I probably will do that, and yeah, off to the next pot. Okay guys, I finished repotting them. They're looking nice. This one was the first one, so obviously it's not the nicest one. This one was the second one. It's the one I told you that didn't have roots. And it looks really nice now. Now that I think of it, filling the pots up to the top and making it just the way I made it, I think that looks the nicest. So I'm pretty sure every pot I do like that, I'm going to fill it up to the top. And I used this PVC pipe I was talking about earlier. And I'm going to show you in the next repotting I do. I stuck it into the soil halfway when I filled it up halfway. And then I put more soil around the thing so it stays up. And then when I fill it up to the desired height, I took it out and it left a hole for the plant about this deep, which is pretty deep. None of these plants had those roots yet. So I stuck them in. They did perfectly fine. Filled them up. And now all we have to do is spray them a little bit, rinse them out a couple times just to make sure. And yeah, we did it. Thanks for watching. Comment down below next thing you want me to do. I'm thinking about getting some new plants. I'm going to show you around my collection, and I'm going to show you around how to do things. I'm going to show you guys how to do things and how to take care of these plants, how to take care of different types of plants, how to propagate them, and more. So please stick around, subscribe, give a like. I would appreciate it. Again, this is my first time, so this video is probably going to be my worst one yet until I get a nice camera, a nice tripod, everything I need to record for YouTube. And thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Have a nice day.